Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about the Janome 2030DC-T. This is the latest model in the DC series. The 2030 is the beginning model that gets you into the DC series. Has some really neat features. It's a scaled down version of the 3160 or the 4120 that you'll see on our website. The 2030 gives you 30 of the most popular stitches built in. You still get the same quality motor and working components like the upper end machines with a few less stitches, but it has all the nice computerized features. So let's give you a brief overview of the 2030 DC. First thing you're going to notice, you do get the top winding bobbin that's built into the machine. You can use this with a vertical spool pin. There's a place right here we can put a vertical spool pin and work with our horizontal spool pin to do twin needle sewing. It's very easy to thread this machine. So right off my spool pin, everything is going to be channeled all the way down to my needle, and I do have a built-in needle threader. The machine does have the extra high lift presser foot, so if I'm working with thicker materials, as we'll show you in a few minutes, I'm able to raise that presser foot up for hemming pants and getting thicker materials like quilting underneath the machine. This machine will have the 7-point feed dog system built in. This machine will actually have the feed dogs where it touches your fabric in 7 places. So for lighter weight materials, it's going to help feed those through, reducing any puckering. And then for your heavier materials, having more feed dog surface area touching my material, it just helps and aids the machine feed that through very easily. I do have the top drop-in bobbin system. That is super easy to thread. All I have to do is remove this cover, and there's one little slot that I put the thread through and rake it through. Once I thread that bobbin case, then I'm ready to go. The machine will have a little thread cutter on the side of the machine, so when I finish my sewing, I'm able to rake that across. It does have the snap-on, snap-off presser feet right here on this adapter. And that opens you up, and that's the nice thing about Janome. There are so many accessories you can get for this machine that snaps on and off. It's a standard low shank, so there's several different attachments that are available for this particular machine. Now we'll have the removable accessory tray, and I can open it up from the top so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm able to hem my pant legs, shirt sleeves, and things of that nature. You can't see it right here, but on the back side there is a place where I can drop my feed dogs if I ever want to darn a hole, put on a button, or if I get into free motion embroidery or free motion quilting. I'm able to do that real easily with this machine. Now on the computer controls of the machine, the computer board is laid out really easy and nice. And I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see this. The computer board is laid out really easy, and you get some convenience features built in on this machine. This is the stitch. All I got to do is relate that to the stitch diagram on the machine. I know what number stitch I'm on. All the Janome feet have letters indented into them, so I'm able to know what presser foot for the type of stitch that I'm doing. The machine will recommend that for me. Here's my stitch width setting, and here's my stitch length settings. And if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see that on the screen here, it's kind of dim, but on these machines, you're getting into the upper end of the Janome quality. They measure things in tenths of a millimeter, so there's a lot more stitch length settings and stitch width settings on all the machines. You do have speed control that will override the speed of the machine. There's times I want to do that. This button here does my needle up and needle down. I can set my machine to stop needle in the fabric if I'm turning a corner, or I want to make sure that needle's in there for maybe applique and things of that nature. This button here is called auto lock. What auto lock does for me, it will tie the stitch off underneath so it's hidden and out of the way. You'll probably never want to use reverse again, because this auto lock feature really does enhance how your stitch is going to look and how your fabric's going to look on top. You won't see that ugly back tack anymore. Even though I do have reverse here built in, another convenience feature is my start-stop button. This machine does come with a standard foot control like most sewing machines do, but you may want to get away from that by using my start-stop button. Some folks really do like that feature. You generally find that on the upper end machines in the Janome line. The 2030 is very easy to operate. Let's do a little bit of sewing and show you just how strong and how quiet these machines are. I told you before, we have the extra high lift on the presser foot, so if I am working with thicker materials, I can do that. Here I'm going to use my start-stop button. This machine is whisper quiet. I have it at full speed right now. If I get to the end of the seam that I'm working with, I can hit that auto lock button and it ties that stitch off for me. So it's hidden and underneath. And I know that that stitch is not going to come out. This machine is very durable. Here I'm going to do 2, 4, 8 layers of material. This is denim, standard jean denim that you would use for a pair of pants. 8 layers roughly represents the side seam on a pair of blue jeans, so I've got that extra high lift there. I'm going to raise that up. I'm going to back the speed down because I'm going to show you that I do not have to adjust tensions very often with these machines. Just going through 8 layers of denim there. This is a nice thing about a top drop-in bobbin machine. It crawls down or crawls up and over a side seam. You can't do that on a front loading machine. The machine would jam up on you. Here I'm going to be working with a stretched piece of material. And I'll tie that stitch off. Break it across my thread cutter. And I went from extreme heavy to a cotton to a stretch material. There's no puckering in that. I do not adjust any tensions. My stitches are correct on all those fabrics. So they're not a finicky tension system whatsoever. Ken Sewing Center has been an authorized Janome dealer for the past 50 years. We're here to help you. If you have any questions, any troubleshooting tips, you need help knowing how to use a presser foot, how to use your machine, you can give us a call. We have 4 full-time technicians. We're here 6 days a week. Several educators that can help you with any question you have after you purchase your machine. So no matter where you're located in the country, we're just a phone call away or an email away.